I'm going to jump straight into this tutorial by priming the eyelids, and I'm using a Real Techniques brush, and I'm using Painterly Paintpot by Mac to prime the eyelid. I like to use something with a little bit more of a creamier texture for this, because it's lighter, so the colors are going to be a little bit more vibrant. Then I'm going to go into the Colourpop Cosmetics Cute AF palette. This is the one that I did use to create this look. By the way, thank you guys for requesting it. I actually had a lot of fun recreating this look for you guys, especially since I got to do a cut crease for you guys today. So I'm going to go in with a Hakuhodo J5533 brush, I think, and I'm going to be using those shades to pretty much as my transition shade through the crease. Now, I would love to tell you guys the shades that I'm using because it is written on the back of the palette, but I'm not sure if it's written exactly the way the palette is laid out or if it's sort of like in a mirrored effect. So I tried my best to kind of show you guys exactly the shades that I'm using. But I'm pretty much going from a lighter shade to a darker shade, and then I'm going to mix a couple shades and then darken the shade. So you guys will be able to see once again what I'm using because I'm going to point to it even though the names are at the back. I went in with a MAC 224 brush and applied that brown shade to the crease. What I will say to you guys is that I tried to put most of the intensity on the outer crease, but I also brought it into the inner crease just to create a shadow, because once again we are going to cut the crease, so we do want a bit of that, you know, nice transition of shades through the crease as well. And the brush that I'm using to do this step is by Smith Cosmetics, and it is their 230 brush, which is a more it's almost like a tighter, that's not the right word, but you know what I mean. It's a more dense crease brush. But anyways, I'm going to go in with the dark brown and I'm going to use it to smoke out the outer crease first, but then bring in a little bit into the inner crease as well. Always go back with the brush that you used prior to that last step. So for me, it was a 224 brush. So I always go back in with that brush because that's the one that I want to blend out those two shades that I last put down. I hope that makes sense. But anyways, I went in with those two shades on the brow bone just to give it a little bit of a lift and also to kind of tidy up the shades that I did blend as my transition shade. Now to cut the crease, I use this Makeup Forever brush, which I showed you guys. It's absolutely thin. It's their 226 brush. And I'm not sure if this is their concealer brush or if it's a eyeshadow brush, but it's the 226 brush. It's just my favorite brush for concealing my brows as well as to cut the crease. Because as you guys can see, it gives me such amazing precision. I decided to keep both eyes in for you guys because if you've ever had trouble doing a cut crease, this is the technique that I find is just the easiest. Do a line and then see where your crease naturally fold, and that is where you're going to go in, and always start from top to bottom, map it out, and then you can always go now from left to right to kind of clean up the shape and to make it more precise. I personally prefer to use a Longwear concealer, and the one that I'm using to do this is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer, but I also love the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer as well for this step. And then I'm going to go back in with the Smith Cosmetics brush just to blend two of the last shades that we use in the crease to kind of blend out the harshness at the end where the concealer and the eyeshadow kind of meet. Then I'm going to go in with this rose gold shade on another flat eyeshadow brush. Actually, this is a concealer brush as well. I think I purchased it from Crown Brushes in addition to this brush that you guys are seeing as well. They're very flat eyeshadow brushes. Another one that I love is actually the MAC 242 brush, but even this one, as much as it is very thin, the ones that I use for this tutorial are actually a lot thinner, and they just are able to, as you see, give me a very precise application of the shades, because you don't want to mess up that cut crease. I mean, we worked pretty hard for that crisp line and we want to keep that. Now, a cut crease is not for everyone, and it's probably not for everyday use, but I do think that it's a fun technique, and it's one that I definitely love to experiment with once in a while, especially for a look like this, which is a sunset smoky eye. But anyways, as you guys are seeing, I'm using that shade sort of like as a transition, because if you have a darker shade and a light shade coming together, you want something that's gonna make those two kind of blend perfectly together. And it's actually what I'm doing as well, making sure I go back in to make sure that the colors are vibrant, but also that they blend together as well. And this is totally up to your discretion, depending on how you look. It's something that you're gonna have to kind of look at the look and decide if you want to add more shades or if you need to blend more. I'm pretty much gonna do everything that I did on my upper crease using the same shades. The only thing is that I started off with MAC's Costa Riche, which is a dark brown pencil in the waterline, and using the shades to smoke it out. And I'm going to be using the MAC 221 brush, I think it is. Yes, this is such an amazing brush, guys. Honestly, I cannot wait to kind of talk to you guys about my favorite crease brushes, because I've discovered some amazing ones, and this is one of them, the 221. It's just a smaller version of the MAC 224 brush. The number 222 is actually one of my ultimate favorites, but I don't even think MAC sells it anymore. But this 2221 is a keeper. Anyways, guys, of course, let's do a winged liner. I'm actually going to be using a pretty thick lash today, but this step is totally optional. I'm going to be using the Violet Voss Wispy My Name lash, and it has a pretty thick band, so I needed to put down a pretty thick winged eyeliner, which I kind of have been feeling lately. I'm not gonna lie, I've been loving a winged liner, which is not like me. I will actually put the name of this pigment in the description box. It's from Inglot, and it's sort of like a white eyeshadow, but it has a gold reflect to it. But I don't remember the number, but once again, I'll put it in the description box for you guys. And if you haven't been able to figure out, for those people that's been watching my channel, you know that I'm obsessed with Inglot pigments. But anyways, guys, some mascara to finish the look, and that is it. Thank you so much for requesting this look, and don't forget to thumbs up, leave your comments in the comment section for suggestions, as well as let me know what you guys think about this look, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Love you guys, talk to you soon. Bye.
Can grow